Okay, it's the last day of this journey. Just checked out of the hotel, skipped breakfast today. Um, Basically, going to head into Newark, New Jersey, try and go to the Newark Museum, which has some Lily Martin Spencer pieces and also some other post mortem portraits by other artists. So I wanted to check those out and then head on for home. So that's going to be the primary stop. The one thing right now is that it is around 8 in the morning, and from what I've heard, traffic from here all the way to New York City this time of day on a work day, it's bumper to bumper, and so I don't feel like sitting in that. So I'm gonna have to kill about 2 hours and then leave here at 10, because they said the traffic normally opens up after 10. I guess the morning commute would be over by that point. So anyway, looks like I'm gonna go probably just sit somewhere in a coffee shop and do some work, and then wait till 10 and then take off. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I have not left Fairfield yet. I just went and had a Frappuccino at Starbucks and looked over some of the papers that I've gathered at the library and such. Anyway, found some very interesting information on Roland, Jane's husband, in those articles from the late 19th century when he died. Seems he was involved after his death in some intrigue and such, so that's pretty exciting. I won't reveal more at this point, but later you'll get to hear in episode 9 of the podcast series. Anyway, looking at this information, I found some more possible information on the person who allowed us to gain access to the portrait to get it into our collection. And it appears she lived in Greenwich, Connecticut. And it just so happens that's between Newark and where I am now. So I'm going to just stop there and see if I can find any information about her and see if there are any still living descendants that might be able to help us better understand this portrait. So it's off to Greenwich, Connecticut, and we'll see what awaits. Okay, we're in Greenwich, Connecticut. I have been told by Frank Giannini from Massachusetts, who's on my staff, that the correct pronunciation is Greenwich, not Greenwich, even though it's spelled Greenwich. So we now know it is Greenwich, and that's where I am. It looks like a charming little New England town. Learned that it is illegal to talk on the cell phone while driving. Very nice police officer informed me of that. Luckily without also handing over a ticket, so that was very nice. I was happy. Okay, let's see what we can find at the library. Okay, very exciting. They do have the obituary for the woman who is listed by Sotheby's as being responsible for the museum being able to purchase the painting. So I'm at the microfilm right now machine, and we're gonna see what we can find. So here we go. And we found it. We found the obituary for Jane S. Tuthill. Appears she died at age 69. So it does give the name for a son, so we're going to check that out now. Okay, a resounding success. First of all, this was a fairly newly renovated library, absolutely beautiful. People, again, very helpful, which is nice, but we did have some success. What we found was the obituary, of course, for Jane, whose name is listed as the one through Sotheby's that they procured the painting from and then auctioned it off. However, she was deceased by 1972, and we got the painting in 1988. So now, doing a further search with obituaries, we have found her son's wife's obituary, which then lists their children, one of whom's husband is still living in Greenwich, and I have his address and telephone number. So I think I'm going to give it a shot here and give him a call, and we'll see what we can find out. This is the Lacey family crest, yes. And I'm sitting in the home of the descendant of Jane Eleanor Sherman Lacey. Do you mind being on film? Okay. And this is Mrs. Noble.
Hello.
Hello. And you are the great-great-granddaughter of Jane Eleanor Sherman Lacey.
I am.
And you are the one responsible for the museum procuring this painting through an auction at Sotheby's.
My sister, I have two sisters.
Okay.
And the three of us, when my dad passed away, we bought the house. Painting used to sit up there.
Right up here.
Where that's my grandfather, that's my uncle, that's my grandfather on the other side who did that when he was a young boy in the 1800s. But
oh, okay.
and,
oh, wonderful.
We didn't want it because it was so big.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it took up the whole wall. And
yes.
so we decided to sell it.
Okay.
So we did.
And you sold it.
We did.
Okay. Well, and
that's
we're
how we got it.
very happy to have it in our possession. So, and what were you saying about the frame that your father?
Oh, I think my dad may have painted the frame with radiator paint. He had
Okay.
a garage.
Okay.
And he may have touched it up.
Okay.
Maybe not.
All right.
But look at it and see.
We will. Is there anything else you could say about the painting that?
No, we never had an idea who it was. My
Okay.
grandmother had passed away years before, and it had always been in the family.
Okay.
And we didn't know who it was, and that's why I'm quite fascinated. I'm sure my two sisters will be too.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for talking.
You're very
The
welcome.
Nobles have also shared with me a book in their possession from the 19th century related to the Lacey family. While not sure, this looks somewhat like Jane Eleanor Sherman Lacey. The man next to her. Have some miniature photographs, same shape as in the portrait. Holy cow. Met the actual descendant of Jane Eleanor Sherman Lacey, stood in their family room, saw where the painting originally hung. Just that's tremendous. That is truly the icing on a cake of some very successful research, I think, in this 3.5 day basically research expedition, as I've been calling it. I am currently driving, so I probably better stop filming myself. I don't know what the laws are in Connecticut about filming yourself while driving. You can't talk on the cell phone, so I can't imagine this would be good. All right, we'll talk to you soon. I'm heading on to Newark now. Okay, I'm standing outside of the Newark Museum, and just went through, and it's a very nice museum. Had a lot of great works of art in there, some connections to our collection, which was fairly interesting. Had a wonderful John Singer Sargent that plays off nicely with the work that we have in our collection by the artist John Singer Sargent. So anyway, really some wonderful works, and I saw the Lily Martin Spencer pieces, one of which I had not ever seen before, any digital images, and that was really spectacular. And I saw some post-mortem paintings as well, a couple of them. And anyway, it all looked really good, so I had a good trip here. Okay, I kind of skipped lunch and just got on the road. I made it as far as Winchester, getting a late start, going to the Newark Museum and such. It's after 8, and I'm pretty exhausted. So I'm stopping, spending one night, and then getting home tomorrow. But that's pretty much it. That's the end of the research for this particular trip. And all in all, I think a lot of successes. So very happy with how things turned out. And I hope you'll continue to follow along with the podcast and listen to how this all comes together. Episode 9 of the 10 episodes, episode 9 is going to focus entirely on this trip. So there were some pieces of information I did not reveal that I found out. So you're going to just have to wait and listen to that episode to find out everything. So I hope you'll follow along, and I definitely hope you'll come into the Taubman Museum of Art and see Lily Martin Spencer's Jane Eleanor Sherman Lacey and her son Edward, as well as the many other important works of art that we have in our collection. Take care.